Hi, I'm Todd Bodine. As you know, driving is something I really love to do. And like my two friends here, as a new driver, you're probably excited about getting behind the wheel. But when doing that, you always need to think about safety.
That's right, and in Todd's line of work, driving safely is obviously very important.
Exactly. But I don't just think about safety on the racetrack. I always think about safety when I'm driving my family car.
And like Todd, to be good drivers, we need to constantly keep safety in mind.
Especially when we're in the zone. Having a driver's license means taking on some big responsibilities, not just for yourself, but for passengers, other drivers, and workers who repair and maintain our nation's roads. So when you're at the wheel, remember, lives depend on how well you drive.
That means focusing on your speed, visibility, traffic volume, other drivers, and something you may not have thought much about, roadway work zones.
You know what a work zone looks like. Orange warning signs, orange cones, orange barrels, and workers wearing orange safety vests.
In addition to those kinds of things, work zones sometimes have slow-moving traffic, the kind that makes you want to get out of there in a hurry.
But that's exactly what not to do. When you're in a work zone, take your time and be alert. Don't speed up and zigzag between cars, don't tailgate, and don't get distracted. Each year, more than 250,000 serious accidents involve distracted drivers, and over 1,000 people are actually killed in work zone-related crashes.
So don't take your attention away from the road by using a cell phone, messing around with your car's radio or CD player, joking with friends who are riding with you, or doing anything else that might cause you to lose focus.
Remember, being distracted or speeding might easily cause a work zone accident, one that could kill you or someone else.
Did you know that most of those who die in work zone accidents are motorists, not the people actually working on the road? And keep this in mind, the most common type of work zone accident is a rear-end collision.
That's because if you're speeding or tailgating, there may be hardly any room to stop. And forget about trying to swerve to avoid hitting another car. Traffic lane work zones can be pretty narrow, so if someone has to suddenly slam on the brakes, it could all be over.
Remember, if you're in a work zone and going faster than the posted speed limit, you're setting yourself up for an accident.
We all know that work zones can sometimes be inconvenient and frustrating, but they're not going away. And that's because a lot of our roads were built a long time ago, most of them back in the 1950s. So now, many have to be repaired, upgraded, or widened to make them safer.
That's why there are so many work zones, and they're definitely here to stay. So you need to know how to drive safely through them. It's not hard.
First of all, expect the unexpected. A lot of times, normal speed limits are reduced, traffic lanes are shifted, and workers are walking on or near the roadway.
You also need to slow down and pay attention. Speeding through a work zone won't save you much time. That's a fact. And remember, don't be distracted with your cell phone, CD player, or your friends.
Here's something else. Stay calm and be patient. Remember, work zones are there to make roads safer for all of us.
And when approaching a work zone, safely merge with other cars as soon as you can. That means not cutting off other drivers to cut in line at the last minute.
And very importantly, don't change lanes right after leaving a work zone. Too many drivers do that, making the exit point a dangerous place.
Also, don't tailgate. That means giving the car in front of you plenty of room. Remember, a rear-end collision is the most common accident in a work zone.
Be sure to maintain a safe distance between you and other cars, work zone equipment, and anyone working in the area.
And you should always obey a flagger's instructions. That's the worker holding a sign that tells you to stop or go slow. In a work zone, flaggers have a lot of authority, and you could get a ticket if you don't follow their directions.
In fact, depending on the state, if you're caught speeding through a work zone, you could end up paying hundreds, even thousands of dollars in fines. Not to mention, possibly even spending some time in jail.
Just one more thing. Driving through a work zone during bad weather or at night can be especially dangerous. That's because your visibility is decreased. At night, you might also be tired, or bright work lights could be distracting.
After sundown, there are any number of things that can increase your chances of having a work zone accident. So be careful and pay attention.
There you have it. When driving, you have a lot of responsibilities, especially when traveling through work zones. Doing that safely means driving responsibly.
And recognizing potential dangers.
And reacting safely.
Remember, in work zones, if more drivers slow down and pay attention, more lives can be saved. So when you're in the zone, think safety.